Today, sometimes the best way to make a video game is to stop making that video game. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint. It's been a good run.
Whoa! Hey, where'd that come from?
I've been having a real good time hosting CheckPoint here, and I'm sad to see it go.
You are gonna give our viewers the wrong idea. We are not canceling CheckPoint.
But if I'm not here to experience it, does it really happen?
Don't one-hand clapping this shit. It is too early in the day.
Destructive work environment? Just walk out. You can leave. Now making the list of things that one can just piece out of, including social things, movies, home, class, dentist, clothes shoppy, too fancy weed store, cops if you're quick, and friendships, we can add game development. Poland's Acid Wizard studio have announced that they will be taking a lengthy hiatus after updating their 2017 title Darkwood. Despite Darkwood's sales wildly exceeding studio expectations, and their follow-up game Soccer Kids debuting in June of this year in early access, the studio mentions that they will be going on hiatus for the foreseeable future, citing an inability to create a work environment that would not be destructive to their personal lives. In a quote that makes me think I've been transported into a dimension where I can retire before I'm 70, the studio says, "Our families are our top priority, and they should not be affected negatively by our work." Fans of Darkwood and Soccer Kids can rest easy, though, as Acid Wizard has said they aren't disappearing into thin air, and would like our games to live on. Hope remains strong, with the studio saying there is, quote, "a possibility of returning in 5 to 10 years when we get our shit together," which is an impressive feat given that this reporter has trouble remembering what happened 10 minutes ago, let alone 10 years, and has let his own collective shit spread like an upended Rubbermaid tote full of Lego across the living room floor that is his life. Happy midlife retirement, Acid Wizard!
Devolver Digital is known for putting on a great show, and their latest presentation, Devolver Delayed, did not disappoint. Unless, of course, you were breathlessly waiting for the 2023 release of most of the games mentioned, because some of them are being delayed to 2024, so that sucks. Sorry. As for me and my experience, though, I giggled my way through the whole 3-minute video. Devolver knew they'd be disappointing people by reporting on delays for games like The Plucky Squire and Pepper Grinder, so they took the best stance they could. They parodied the Nintendo Direct, complete with cheery optimism, bland humor, and two hosts who I dearly hope are either the same voiceover artists for the actual Nintendo Direct, or at least close siblings, because they were bang on in aping the peppy yet corporate delivery that, in truth, has really been bugging the shit out of me in recent Nintendo Directs. Seriously, Nintendo either needs to hire some punch-up writers or just give up on the dad jokes filtered through legal. Maybe stepdad jokes, could we call them that instead? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, as much as I love a 45-minute Nintendo Direct, I love the 3-minute Devolver Delayed more, since it starts and ends before my tea is even done steeping.
Defunct disc distributor and slinger of streaming series Netflix has turned their attention to the gaming sphere, adding a selection of mostly pre-existing games to their television and movie offerings on mobile. All of that seems set to change, though, with the release of an app named Game Controller, promising the ability to play Netflix games on a living room TV. Signaling a further pivot into guided Zen meditation, Game Controller presents us with the koan of, if a wireless controller connects to nothing, can it game? While you can download, install, and launch the Game Controller app, there is, as of yet, nothing to connect to. The app tells you to choose a game on your TV and follow the directions to connect, but unfortunately the app also notes that Netflix games on TV are in beta, which apparently means non-existent, much like any explicit announcement or comments on the matter from Netflix. Now, you may be tempted to say that this is putting the cart before the horse, but if that were the case, then the controller would be the bridle, which you would use to control the horse, making Netflix the road because the horse needs a platform to run on. and the cart represents your psyche and the massive mental load you need to balance a backlog of shows that you haven't watched being dropped all at once against the inevitable deletion from the service at an unknown future date. I think you still represent you in this scenario, unless you're still sharing your Netflix login, in which case you're probably stuck in as much of an existential crisis as this controller app is.
Baldur's Gate 3 was recently released to great acclaim and widespread popularity, and staying on the heels of their success, developer Larian Studios has already released its second major hotfix. So you know what that means, another round of patch notes! First up, let's look at crash bugs. Fixed a crash caused by the UI. Fair, the UI is pretty important. Fixed a rare crash related to moving items. I assume that's when you move items and not the other meaning. Oh, multiplayer, always ridiculous stuff in the multiplayer notes. Fixed long fade outs when listening in on dialogues in multiplayer. I mean, how long the fade out is relative to how much pipe weed you've been smoking, right? Fellas? There's gotta be something good in here. Is there anything good in gameplay? To hell with patch notes, everyone. We're sliding into CheckPoint. That's right, Baldur's Gate 3 lets you choose your genitals during character creation, which has been the source of all sorts of memes I cannot convince Paul to display over my shoulder. But the choices have just introduced further havoc since the game's clothing meshes can't seem to contain your hilarious decision to carry 4 pounds of meat in a 2-pound bag. To note, penises C and D no longer clip through some Githyanki clothing. A curious omission is penis E, of which I've only heard lewd whisperings on the dark web. But if you are swinging that calamitous of a pole, I'm certain the game doesn't even let you wear pants, let alone underpants. And in fact, male gnome sorcerers are no longer missing their undies. Underwear is essential to in-character customization, according to lead developer Alina Dubrovina, so it would be a terrible disappointment if male gnomes missed out on the firm fit and control of an orcish posing pouch. You know what else is sexy? Forgetting to credit all the contributors to your hit game. Larian Studios has recently released a statement saying that their Brazilian-Portuguese localization contractor Altagram Group did not submit a full list of the localization team, instead only sending the names of the top brass. While Larian says they've reached out to Altagram Group for an updated list and pins the blame solely on them, Larian have not addressed the report from Twitter user Daniel Hazri that while the names of support studios are in the credits, the people who actually did the work at those studios are not credited anywhere. That's probably only sexy if you're into denial play or something.
I'm in full agreement. It's absolutely vital to credit each person involved in a creative project.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Noticed what?
The edits?
Edits?
To the credits of the show, you're in the title cards, you're now in the end credits.
I had actually noticed. You couldn't pay me enough to watch this show.
We literally pay you to be in it.
Coming up, a new Street Fighter VI collab gives you the option of paying $15 to dress up like a Ninja Turtle. But some fans have chosen to decorate their own avatar from scratch. I'm pretty sure I had a couple of these Blinja Nerdle dolls as a child. Love those weird boys.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, heads up. We will be sending a team to PAX West, so you can come see Loading Ready Run in the Summit building. I believe we'll be in Bandland, which is on the second floor. We'll be talking about this all through August anyway, but if you're going to PAX West, there will be a team of us there at Bandland. I will be selling merchandise, as will the other people who are going. You're going as well.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, looking forward to that a little bit. Yeah.
A lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, just it's a little, I'm a little freaked out, the idea of like big convention kind of attitude, but I'm like, well, I did MagicCon Minneapolis and I masked up the whole time. I'm like, that was doable. So I feel PAX will be, should be less anxiety.
Normal precautions for normal times.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, and speaking of MagicCon, we are firming up our plans to go to MagicCon Vegas as well. Nothing is firm yet, but it will be firm soon.
The bones have been rolled and the outlook looks good.
Yeah,
That's how
rosy.
you play craps, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, outlook good. Try again. Today, the best way to make a game sometimes is to stop. Bring it back. I'm sorry.
Stop.
The best way sometimes to make games stop is to stop game make. Checkpoint?
Of which I have only heard lewd. Fuck, I tripped over it. Oh, God.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I had a couple of these Blinja Nurtle toys as a doll. Nope. Woof.
At least you didn't say Blinja Nerdle children.
Yeah.
Back when you were a doll.
Back when I was a doll, I had children. Just strange because they don't have holes. The dolls, not the children, they're normal.